You broke my heart. I was there from the start, but then I was shattered to pieces. And now I'm here eating Reese's. It doesn't work, so you need a good songwriter like you.
I was like, when you said the first two lines, I was like, I wonder if he meant for that to rhyme. The ending, he kind of fell off a little bit.
The KFM Top 40 with Carl Wastie. Your 40 biggest hits
across the Cape.
Conor Maynard, it is so good to have you on KFM 94.5.
Lovely to meet you. How are you?
I'm good. I've been following your journey for the longest time. I felt there was like a great Neo bromance that happened in the beginning, and then all the covers that you did, and then next thing you know, you got into the dance scene, and like I've just been following this trajectory. And then I was given the song If I Ever, and on the way to this interview in the car, I will listen to it twice. And the relatability, anybody who wrote a song that relatable had to have gone through that situation. Is that the case with you?
Yeah, definitely. The song is kind of directly about a situation that happened to me at the end of last year. It's the first of a string of songs that are going to be revolved around that situation, telling an aspect of the story, and each one will kind of add a little bit more depth to the story. So yeah. You're
telling the subject of the song to try not to answer if there's any drunk calls or texts coming through. And, I suppose when you have a situation of that sort and it ends in that type of way, it's like, even if that person is the one that hurt you, you still kind of miss their company. You miss what they brought to your life.
You also kind of feel angry at yourself for missing them. You kind of have this kind of really confusing set of feelings where you miss them and you want them back in your life, but you know that you know that they shouldn't be back in your life, because essentially all it led to in the end was pain. But at the same time, you can't help but having that kind of human feeling of missing someone that you were once extremely close to, kind of regardless of how it ended. Yeah, it's a really difficult feeling to process and to move on from. So this song kind of describes that.
If there's one thing that Adele and Taylor Swift has taught us, is that when you break up with people, make some good music and heal.
Yeah. The first thing I wanted to do was try and make sure that I was immediately just busy and occupied, and getting in the studio was my kind of chosen way of dealing with it. And like, not really much good comes directly from a breakup. Obviously, you can say, oh, well, eventually you move on and you meet the person you're meant to be with, but obviously you don't really get that instant gratification from a breakup. Normally it's just really horrible, and you move on and you kind of just go, well, that feels like it was a waste of time. I guess I'll just get on with my life now. Me being able to put it into my music is somewhat of a silver lining that makes it kind of softens the blow a little bit.
You can either let things really hurt you forever, or you can get to a point where you can allow them to teach you. And I think that's the most amazing thing that comes out of those negative situations. And of course, you're a great songwriter, and you can put that, not everybody's got that talent where I can, put down and say, you broke my heart. I was there from the start, but then I was shattered to pieces. And now I'm here eating Reese's. It doesn't work, so you need a good songwriter like you.
I was like, when you said the first two lines, I was like, I wonder if he meant for that to rhyme. And then I realized what you were doing, and I was like, oh wait, I'm really interested to see where this is going. And then the ending, he kind of fell off a little bit, but the rest of it
I'm glad you didn't let me finish, because I would have honestly gone proper off the rails. I'm so glad that my impression is still intact with you, which is good. But talking about songwriting, that's what you do. You've written songs for so many people, so many super groups, K-pop groups, and all over the world. You've just written some really great songs, and you've collaborated with so many people. If you were to get back into studio with any of your collaborators, any one of those individuals, if you had to pick up the phone and say, let's do something, who would that call go to?
I would love to work with Frank Ocean again. That was amazing. He wrote a song on my first album, so working with him would be incredible. Pharrell, of course, was such an amazing person to meet and work with. And still, to this day, insanely talented and just such an inspiration to me even now. Obviously Neo, he's like the OG for me. Like he was there from the very, very beginning of my career.
I did have an opportunity to interview Neo before, and what the most smooth person in the world.
Oh yeah, he's slick. He's super cool, and he's
super
everything he says is super cool.
Unfortunately, that interview ended with me singing to Neo, but we're not going to go there. What are some of those personal things that you are embarking on beyond music?
There's a whole bunch of things, really. I've entered the new. I mean, to be fair, this kind of started towards the end of last year, but I've definitely started. I've started exercising a lot more. Started eating a lot more healthily. I feel like the results definitely speak for themselves, in terms of the way you feel. And then mentally as well. I think one of the main things I really want to work on is like learning to love my own company. That's something that I really kind of struggled with the last few years. I think I would always kind of want to be surrounded by friends. Or kind of, just sometimes even like strangers. I prefer being at a bar talking to people that I barely even knew than being able to just kind of sit alone in my house. When you struggle with your own company, it's really easy to become dependent on people. And I think that obviously that can make breakups hurt even more. I think when there's a level of dependence, they should just be, I think that being in a relationship they should kind of just be more of like a healthy bonus addition.
I feel like that's a lesson for all of us. You'll be surprised how many people would like to embark on that journey, because myself included. That for me is very, very important. And somebody told me something so profound last year, and hopefully it does something for you as well. They told me that sleep is the best superfood you can ever give yourself. And I was like, what? And sleep was the big problem. And I realized once you get enough sleep, even something like being in your own company becomes easier.
I think that's definitely something that I struggle with personally the most when it comes to not wanting to be alone. I think that, so it's kind of a little bit of a vicious circle.
That's the thing we have to conquer. It's going to be a great year. We just need to go to those basics and those foundations, and then we can start doing the other stuff. Hopefully the other stuff for you includes maybe a visit to a place called Cape Town, South Africa, for a little show or two, maybe. I know that I believe Josh Wastie is somebody that you've connected with before.
Yeah, Josh Wantie's my boy. We did a song together.
Yes.
Never Let Me Go, and we I spoke to him literally the other day. He's working with my brother at the moment. They've started a new musical collaboration called Blank Minds. It's the two of them.
Nice.
They're doing remixes at the moment, and they're going to move on to original music very, very soon. And I'm kind of working somewhat in the background with them on that as well. Josh will have to come with me. I've been to Cape Town before. I loved it, so I want to come back. Definitely.
Oh, what did you love about Cape Town? I have to ask. Like, I know there's a lot of silence.
I came there. So I came there during New Year's. So it was just after Christmas, and I spent New Year's in Cape Town. I think it was the year going into 2018. I loved it. I loved the kind of lifestyle. I loved, obviously, the weather was insane compared to London. Food was really, really good. Obviously I was there with my friends, so the company I was with was amazing, but I was with a lot of my South African friends, so that made a lot of these. I was with Casper Lee and Josh Peters and stuff, and we actually went to Knysna, their hometown, which was a beautiful place as well. I loved it. My current manager is South African. He's from Durban, so many people around me telling me that I need to get back over to South Africa very soon. So yeah.
Yes, please. I mean, I'm not going to force you, but I'm going to encourage it strongly to come through. And
I would love to. I honestly loved that trip. Like, it's such a positive memory in my head. So yeah.
The one thing I love about a song, and this is what happened to me back in the day with like Linkin Park, where I was going through the most as a teenager, and Linkin Park would have these like lyrics, and it was almost like, how did they know? How did they know that situation? How did they know that feeling? And I'm getting that same vibe from If I Ever. Like, I feel that, you going through it, you're going to touch so many other people that's going to need that song to get through what they're getting through. And that's what I'm excited to offer to my listener on KFM 94.5.
Thank you so much. I'm literally so excited for people to hear the full song. I've been releasing snippets online, and I feel like now that people get to hear the full thing, I'm so excited to see what people think and give them a little bit of insight into how I've been feeling, and also, I guess, give them a little bit of a snippet into what's to come. So yeah.
Thank you so much for spending some time with us and for sharing some pearls of wisdom with regard to your music and getting to know a bit more about you. I hope we can do more of this in the future, because this is what really enriches the music, when you know what's behind it, as opposed to, for me as a DJ, just playing the music and saying, oh, da, 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 da. When you actually hear, what the actual artist wanted and is intending behind the music, I think that enriches it, and it makes me want to play it over and over again to hear something new in the narrative.
When I play my music to people, I always kind of feel like I have to kind of explain it before I play it to them, which sometimes like it gives a bit of an unfair kind of bias to them, because I'll get like a really good reaction. I'll realize, oh, that's because they know the stories. So it's like, whereas most people won't hear it with context. So it's nice to like be able to do this so that people could now listen to it with a bit of context. So yeah.
If you have any message for the Conor Maynard fans who are here in Cape Town, South Africa, those who are about to hear If I Ever, maybe you want to do a little introduction to the song just for them.
What's up, everyone? I'm Conor Maynard. I want to send a massive shout out to all my South African fans, all my Cape Townian fans. I love every single one of you. I'm here on the KFM Top 40 show with Carl Wastie. We're about to play my brand new single, If I Ever. I really, really hope you all love it.
The KFM Top 40 with Carl Wastie. Your 40 biggest hits
across the Cape.